You know, did you guys know Stuart Jolliffe? Stuart Jolliffe was a friend to all musicians. It was amazing, Stuart Jolliffe. Gosh, Stuart Jolliffe just knew how to make you feel good, and gosh, my friend Mike Campbell introduced me to Stuart Jolliffe. Stuart passed away, and he was the vice president of Delta Hotels, and he ended up going over to work for Marriott there in Toronto. But he died of a heart attack a little while ago. And man, that guy was so cool. And Mike Campbell knew I would be friends with Stuart Jolliffe. I've never forgotten this, and so I wrote this down. There was these thoughts of Stuart Jolliffe, and this makes me smile because we lost a great one. Stuart Jolliffe passed away. I got the news on a Wednesday evening from my pal Mike Campbell, who phoned me from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Stuart was only 56, way too young. Man, I had just gotten back to Nashville from Sydney, Australia, and this news greeted me. A few memories. Mike Campbell introduced me to Stuart in 2008. I was headed up to Canso, Nova Scotia to play Stan Rogers Folk Fest, aka Stanfest. Campbell told me that Stuart would drive me out to the festival from Halifax. It was like a blind date. We'd never met. I got in his car, and at first it was kind of awkward. He was playing music that I didn't know, and we were making small talk. But then everything clicked. We realized we both had a mutual love for the music of Joel Plaskett. Flirt with the waitress and Sault Ste. Marie. By the time Joel was singing Light of the Moon, Light of the Moon, I'd already had my arm around Stuart. We stopped and we ate burgers and we laughed like idiots. It took me about 15 minutes to realize that Stuart had the same goofy sense of humor as I did. He could make me laugh till I cried. It's hard to explain, but sometimes you meet someone and they can go off in a tangent in the same stupid direction you're going about anything. Stuart was whip smart and just got it. I could say, I think I'm going to go on stage wearing lederhosen, and he'd immediately start speaking in a German accent like he was my manager, yelling at me to play Goodnight Eileen while swinging naked from a chandelier for my encore. In fact, we ended up writing about 15 extra verses for Goodnight Irene. Each verse got weirder and dirtier than the last. It was a filthy version. We were laughing so hard that Stuart actually had to pull the car over so he wouldn't crash. Well, by the time we got to Stan Rogers Folk Fest, we were like old pals, thick as thieves. He knew everybody, and I mean everybody. He introduced me to Ron Hines, and Tom Swift, and Gordie Sampson, and every single Canadian musician that I walked by. Festivals, they kind of have this cool energy where everyone's buzzing, and Stanfest is no different. By the end of the festival, I felt like I knew everybody, and I was asked to do what's called a tweener. A tweener is when you play 2 or 3 songs between the headline acts as the band gets set up. You're usually pushed off to the side of the stage. You're like a rodeo clown, and you have 10 minutes to make an impact. Well, this was the final day of the festival, and by now all the campers were unshaven, unkempt, and buzzed, and hungover, and sunburned at the same time. I guess I'd call it festival glow. So by now, Stuart had become my life coach, my advisor, and convinced me that I should play my song Cold German for my tweener set. Well, this is an old school folk festival. I sometimes call them Nazi folk festivals, where you gotta keep it clean, like don't do the blue material, you'll never work the big rooms, and it's an old school folk festival, and off-color language isn't encouraged. So by the time I get to the line in the song Cold German, and Stuart had convinced me it was okay to do this song, there's a line in the song that says, "She's colder than the pink thing from the dick of a dog." Let's just say that not everyone was laughing in the audience. In retrospect, it probably wasn't the best choice of song for a first-timer to play at this venerable folk fest. In fact, I've never been invited back since. But on the long drive home, Stuart had me read him the line about the pink thing from the dick of a dog, only this time he had me read it in slow motion, so I went, "Colder than the pink thing from the dick of a dog." And this got us laughing so hard that we had to drive away and pull the car over again. So Stuart, he just got it. I was always so excited to see him and talk music and comedy. He did good deeds for musicians traveling across Canada. He got us good rates, friends and family rates. He worked for Delta for years, and when you went into the lobby of the hotel, you'd hear songs playing by all his favorite artists. You'd be in the lobby and you go, "Are you kidding me? They're playing Plaskett here in Ottawa at the Delta? Now they're playing 2 Hours Traffic? Oh my God, I mean, it was amazing." He curated the soundtrack of the hotel. And of course, he told me he deleted my song Cold German from the playlist. I said, "Oh, it's good enough for a tweener at Stanfest, but not good enough for Delta hotels, is it?" He said, "Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to ruin my career because of your filthy lyrics." He would get his musician pals good rates on hotel rooms. He'd make sure we were set up. There'd be a cheese plate sent up to the room with a note and a bottle of your favorite beverage. I even played a show at his house in Bedford, Nova Scotia. He built a stage in his backyard for me. He'd invite me sailing. He grew a beard, and I came up with this idea that the beard turned him into the meanest man in the world. He didn't miss a beat. He immediately started yelling at me and yelling at everyone around him, screaming at him because he had a beard now. Stuart was generous beyond belief, and everyone loved him. He moved to Toronto from Halifax a couple years ago, and he never missed a show when I played the Dakota. He made my shows better. I repeat, he made my shows better. See, here's the thing. If I knew Stuart was in the audience, I'd up my game. I knew he'd seen me play countless times, so I'd always try to top myself. I'd let the crowd know that Stu was in the room, and I'd make him stand up and take a bow. He always complied. I'd tell the audience that Stu was a legend and that I loved him, and I meant every single word. I love you, Stu. You're a gem. And Mike Campbell, I love you too. I would have never met Stu if it weren't for you setting up that blind tape drive out to Stanfest back in 2008. Oh yeah, all those extra verses for Goodnight Irene, we sang them together at the Carlton. Someone somewhere probably filmed it. We sang it 2 nights in a row. The first night, it killed. It destroyed. People were laughing hysterically. The second night, it did not work at all. It bombed. Different crowd, different energy. Stuart looked at me afterwards and said, "I guess we pushed our luck, pal." Then we went to another laughing fit. Sometimes when things don't work, they're even funnier in the aftermath. Well, good night, Irene, and good night, Stuart Jolliffe. Thanks for all the good work you did for Raise a Little Help for Habitat for Humanity in Halifax. I had fun playing that benefit. It was a black tie event, and before I went on stage, Stu pulled me aside and said, "Hey pal, you probably shouldn't play Cold German for this one." Of course I played it. I like to push my luck. I have oppositional defiance disorder, and guess what? It destroyed. I just wanted to prove to Stu that it would still work. We meet these angels in our lives, and they crash into us when we least expect it. They're everywhere. Keep your grapes peeled and be on the lookout. These angels are sending us clues. And Stuart Jolliffe is now one of them. Maybe he always was. God bless you, Stuart. I'll be thinking of you as I play my next shows and traverse this crazy planet. You are love. I miss you, and you'll be missed by many. See you on the other side, old pal. Thank you.